What's going on? It's your boy Dewan Barino from Not Just Music Podcast. Thank you for joining us another week. Let's go. What's going on, everybody? Dewan Barino, Quincy Murdoch in the building as always. Not Just Music Podcast. Another Thursday, 8:00 p.m. Hopefully everybody's doing wonderful. Hopefully everybody's doing beautifully. How's everything going, bro?
What's up, man? We back in the studio. Shout out to all them people been checking out the homisodes, man. We greatly appreciate it. But we back.
Definitely.
Everything good? How you doing?
Good. Much work is needed.
Yeah.
Little work is never here.
Uh-huh.
Always big work. Hopefully y'all have been tapping into research on your own. If not, if you're just now arriving here, welcome. Subscribe, sit back, and enjoy this Black History moment in time, because that's what we're going to do here at Not Just Music Podcast. And nothing else, we're going to uncover some education on Black people, Black topics that matter. So we ain't sitting up here just going back and forth over the little anger issues that can be presented. So, first off, I'm going to get straight into it. Continuing straight down the line of what I've been doing. I've been digging in South Carolina like crazy and hoping to find things that are good, and it's, more than just good, that are special. Something that can be handled well by the masses and the people. And first places that I like to stick to are, like, again, things that are like relatable. So firstly though, I want to unfold some info, especially about South Carolina. This is coming from Wikipedia. I kind of used this one because this one meant a lot more and it was a lot more detailed to understand. This is for those who don't know. There's always a timeline of when African Americans arrived here. And in South Carolina, it reads, Black South Carolinians are residents of the state of South Carolina who are of African American ancestry. This article examines South Carolina's history with an emphasis on the lives, status, and contributions of African Americans.
Right. Enslaved
Africans first arrived in the region in 1526. Not a small number. And the institution of slavery remained until the end of the Civil War in 1865. Until slavery's abolition, the free black population of South Carolina never exceeded 2%. So let's think. Let me ask this. Mm-hmm. You think about it, right? In 1526, of course, as I've always wondered, like, there are people who survived slavery, lived through slavery, and died, right? Mm-hmm. And take the 1500s, a time like the 1500s, we really don't have a grasp on what the 1500s really was about, right?
Right.
So this is just to play our mindset for a second. What do you think the 1500s probably resembled? Do you think it resembled anything today, or do you feel like it was this bare minimum to nothing going on? You might have had a few people who were farmers, you may have had a few things like that, but I doubt it was like anything like with stores and things like that nature. But in your mental, what can you think the 1500s would have looked like?
Honestly, I don't know, because like, we thought it wasn't really nothing going on, and we see it's a lot of history. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, we see it's a lot that they was doing back then and how creative they was, and like, it was unity in blacks back then and police forcing that we never thought, like, was going on, like, that to now, to how it's done changed up and it's so diverse or whatnot. So I really couldn't tell you, because I feel like it's a lot of hidden, unknown agendas in history that we don't even know about, so
Agreed.
Yeah, every time I try to think about it, get a picture, I'm reminded, like, nah, bro, they was doing this back then, and that we just touching the surface again with it, so it's like a mystery.
A lot of these things, again, what I was getting to, 1500s. You kind of wonder what lingo they had going on in the 1500s. Were we using the word Negro? You know, were we using that as a thing then, or was that a thing that we came upon later? Because some feel like that just became a thing of later. But you just wonder, what did they refer to us as in that time frame? But again, moving forward, keep moving.
Right.
Beginning during the Reconstruction era, African Americans were elected to political offices in large numbers, leading to South Carolina's first majority black government toward the end of the 1870s. However, the Democratic Party regained power and passed laws aimed at disenfranchising African Americans, including the denial of the right to vote between the 1870s and the 1960s. So it lets you know that time frame, how we actually had access at one point. Then it moved from not having access to back to that situation where nobody was able to vote. So it lets you know that it was if some didn't know, if you didn't know, cause I didn't know.
Right.
But those out there that if you thought that we never had a right to vote, imagine having a right to vote, then they take it away from you for almost 100 years and then give it back to you.
Right.
So it kind of makes you wonder, like, how we might have had more freedom at one point, and what point, and of course wanting to know what at one point did this become ugly. I'll leave that for somebody out there to do research on as well, and I'm gonna do some research on that too myself to find out when it was actually a change. Keep moving. African Americans and whites lived segregated lives. People of color and whites were not allowed to attend the same schools or share public facilities. African Americans were treated as second-class citizens, leading to the civil rights movement in the 1960s. So I'm pointing this out for one reason, because the case of, I think we kind of just like read over history and just kind of like see one point, right, and everybody tells us this one point. Look, we only had to deal with this. This is the only thing we dealt with. And in honesty, we actually were treated a whole lot better at one point. So it just lets you know how the African American community has moved mountains for years,
right?
To try to get, you wonder those that were before Martin, those that were before Malcolm, because those are considerably the ones that were documented.
And can I say something? Yeah. I think us playing a victim and saying we were racially profiled, we didn't have rights. Mm-hmm. I understand what they mean by that, mm-hmm, like physically, like what really was happening then. But to use that as an example, to keep saying it now is like putting a hold on the black community, because like psychologically it's gonna make you think we can't do it, we don't have rights now, or we don't have, you know what I'm saying? So I know the past can't be erased, but you have to speak life into black. You get what I'm saying? Because if you keep saying we didn't have, okay, we didn't have, but now we have, and we have a choice to change that, and rewrite history, So that's the thing I'm getting tired of, is us just keep saying that we didn't have. What do we have now? And what can we do in the future? What can we do about it now that will affect the future in the better way we want it?
That's what
you know what I'm saying?
That's the part.
So it's not like we forgetting the history, but
that's like almost like the whole motto of what I have in my head when it comes to Not Just Music Podcast, bro. You just basically said it in a very, to me, that basically explains like this whole reason why I'm saying this is because of the people that, the only way we're going to not hear it is if we talk about the stuff that was actually good.
Right.
Because again, here's that, as you just pointed out, that pinpoint. We pinpoint one point of time.
And we don't want to let up off.
We won't let up off of that strange, that strange time frame right there, right?
Right.
So and again, as I just read
it again
for the sake of so it makes sense again between the 1870s and the 1960s. African Americans and whites lived segregated lives. People of color and whites were not allowed to attend the same schools or share public facilities. African Americans were treated as second-class citizens, leading to the civil rights movement in the 1960s.
Can I cut in?
Yeah.
And this is another thing I want to talk about racism. I want to bring this point up, like paint a picture.
Mm-hmm.
So think about the white kids that didn't have prejudice in them, that wanted to have black friends, that wanted to have black. We can't say every white person was racist. We can't say that.
Can't say it.
We can't say that. We talked about Jim Brown. A white man basically helped him with his education, right?
Exactly.
Customato, Mike Tyson, who discovered Mike Tyson when he was in the boys' home, gave him a chance and trained him to be one of the best boxers in the world. Let's not forget about this. White, Jewish, whatever. So we can't put the whole label on, oh, whites are racist, black are racist. Like, you know, think about the white kids that wanted to go play with the little black boy and couldn't because their mothers, our fathers were racist.
Taught them something wrong.
Right.
And see, that's what I like about what you said in the homicide too. You pointed out the fact of, like, with the situation that the city in, right?
Right.
You remember I pulled up the picture and it showed the white people blending in with the black people with signs and things like that. Like you just said, like
Malcolm X would have been like, nah, you can't be a part of this. Malcolm X, you saw the movie? Like, this is strictly black. So the thing of it is, we want to make it about us too. Like, and that's what I'm saying. It's not wrong to make it about you and know the thing about it is making it about you first, so you know your identity, so you know who you are. Whatever race you are, you're comfortable with, you love yourself. That way you can love other races. That's the key to all this. If you love yourself and understand your race, you won't look down on black or white or Jewish or it won't matter what color. You feel me? It's the integrity part of
that's the part
of
that
a person.
And that's what I feel like people fall short there, because you have understanding that there are white Americans who are like, look, give black people their position.
Right.
Give black people their flowers. Give them that front line position to show that
we gotta acknowledge it, bro.
Yeah, and
we got to.
And even in cases where you can show it, and it's not saying that
it's not like we selling out to the black. Cause blacks will look at this like, are they selling
and
out?
some people that are black are always going to feel
pro-black.
Yeah,
that's it.
And it's a plague considerably to be pro-black. At the same time, there is this pro-black line where you can still be pro-black and still have that respect to say that, okay, this is white America and I can respect white America. But again,
I think experiences bring the best teaching.
There you go.
When you get in a situation, and that's when you really find out.
And you find out where it is.
Who got you.
Yep.
And you realize it don't matter what color you are. It's about the person, what's in them. So that's really what sums it up. You know, experiences bring out the truth. I feel when you in a situation, who gonna be there to help you? Who gonna look out for you?
Yeah,
you know.
And that's the parts where the help is very needed from white Americans, but it's not like we're dying to have it. You know, so don't feel as if feeling like we're sitting here like, oh, y'all weak and y'all get it ain't that. There's a lot of aspects to the.
It's more aspects, and somebody got to talk about it.
Yeah, it's a big puzzle that needs to still be pieced together. We can't overlook it and keep saying it's a feeling like, oh,
because I think that's the when you talk about racism, they just feel like all whites were racist, all Jews were racist. You know what I'm saying? Like how the stereotype we get, how do you think the white folks that don't have a prejudice bone in their body feel? You know what I'm saying? They can't help it. Like we can't help the conditions we raised. We can't help the parents we were gave birth to. You know, we can't help that. But what we can control is who we are. You know what I'm saying? And that's a lot of people like that, black, white, that just stand in their own purpose. The dads and moms and generations before them might be racist, but that don't mean they gonna turn out racist for sure.
It definitely
like if you got a generation of killers and robbers, that don't mean you gonna turn out that way, right? So
exactly.
I mean, we all can determine our destiny, man.
And that's why I feel
You know?
like that's the part where I always hate when people always make it seem as if feeling like, you know, this is only one way. You know, it's many ways. It's many ways to look at this. And
right.
the one thing I was concerning again was the
acknowledgement of the blacks. You want to acknowledge it because, you know, make it known.
And you think about it, like with this right here. By 1708, South Carolina became the first British North American colony to have an African American majority, right?
Right.
So let me keep reading some more. The first Africans to arrive in South Carolina likely came in 1526. That's what they're basically saying. We were saying the 1500s. As part of the San Miguel de Gualdap colony organized and sponsored by Spain. So you think about it, it was really by way of. You feel me? It wasn't like we came directly here. We ended up in Spain at one point, and then from Spain is about to say basically when the colonial settlement failed, those Africans joined and became absorbed into the Native American population.
Right.
The first settlers arrived in 1670, founded Charleston. See, this is the part where I was speaking about with Charleston and people who go to Charleston on the regular, right?
Yeah.
If you go down to Charleston, bro, you see so many of those historical landmarks, right?
Mm-hmm.
Only reason why you see all these historical landmarks on some of this stuff was because it had something to do with Negroes, straight up and down.
Right.
Chopping blocks, all that stuff like that. You know, sold off and all the stuff from down here, right?
Right.
Now, the like you just spoke on, and this is kind of a way of looking at this too.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel some landmarks are, how I'm trying to say this, some black people look at some landmarks as a disgrace, or it's
like embarrassing,
or it makes them mad and rage and stuff like that, right?
Right.
Do you feel that way about some stuff or no?
I used to, but no, now I don't, because think about it. The cotton fields, for example, turned into a multi-million billion industry. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? And the white people took over that. What like we said in the history, some white people took over the cotton and you know, and made money off that. So the same things that the same things I put, like the same things that make you laugh, make you cry. Same things that make you cry, make you laugh. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely.
So it's always a blessing and a lesson in that mess, I feel. That's what makes you who you are.
Yeah.
And that's what, you know what I'm saying? That's what make things the way they are. Like, that's the world. If we didn't go through things, how would we end up right here? You got to think about it like that.
Yeah.
That's how I think about black. And that's just growth in me, I feel, because I look at it as like it builds character. It builds all these opportunities we have now in the world. So it's not ashamed of the, you know, to be that of the past, man.
And speaking of not being ashamed too, y'all hear what he said? The whole situation is not considerably because the case of it's to make you mad.
Right.
It's
I think it's more ashamed the way we act now for what they fought for.
Yeah.
It's more ashamed now how we represent black, if you want to be real. It's more ashamed now how we represent black than how they represent. If we should be ashamed, we should be ashamed about now.
Lord jeez, boy.
You know what I'm saying?
This is
man, I'm sorry, I'm preaching.
No, that's good.
But man, it's good, bro. You got to see it for what it is, man.
You got the people of the 2024. If we could realize, that's basically like what I'm saying. Anything we talking about now sounds way better than what we doing to ourselves now.
Exactly.
It sounds crazy, but think about it.
Exactly.
Look at it. Look at how 50 doing Diddy. And I'm not saying like 50 is like, I'm not trying to say or point out 50 as the bad guy. Right. But this is what we find to be amusing in news and
Can I say something?
Yeah.
When they were picking that cotton, think about, okay, these people working hard. They were hard workers.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't that a good thing? Why is that something to be ashamed
Boy,
of?
who you telling?
Like they were on that till sun up, the sun down.
Bruh.
The way they work, the work ethic. Because you talk about 50 and stuff like that. So it remind the work ethic. So you're missing the point. So you're looking at it as like all they had is picking cotton. But I look at the blessings and the good and all the mess. Like these were hard working people that deserve their stripes and their credit and recognition. That's why we talk about Black history. Those Black people deserve the recognition.
Yeah.
That fought so hard to put on for Blacks and represent us right. The way we utilized it now, I'm ashamed myself of it sometimes. I am. You know what I'm saying? How we talked about Freaknik, how it was supposed to be something positive and turned into something violent and completely opposite.
Yep.
Like we will take something and we will change the script, flip the script of how it was meant to be used and, you know, described and preserved.
And this is, as far as I'm concerned, especially with the how one looks at one black man looks at another black man's turmoil as gratifying, right?
Right.
Now, as you just said too, made me think about another thing. Think about this with the cotton fields, right? Everybody was equal. Wasn't no levels.
Right.
Each one of these, I had to say niggas. Each one of these niggas,
they were together though,
yeah, and they
shared relationships and they taught. They got along, bruh. They united. Listen, see now y'all done got me started. They were uniting in a struggling time, like you were just saying about Diddy and 50. We don't unite no more when a nigga struggle.
Nope.
When a nigga going through it now, man, hey, we rather just jump on them, bash them,
stomp them, kick
them,
spit on them.
But this is another thing too. We also held ourselves accountable. That generation held themselves. So we understood karma. We understood karma, and the same way 50 might be wild. Diddy is living in his rightfully so past, and it's coming back to haunt you. So what you do. It's consequences that come with that. You got to remember that. All of us have to think about that before we do our thing and go out here and hurting people. And like I said, integrity, man, the character. So, I mean, we got to point out 50. We got to point out Diddy. Like wrong is wrong. Like I told you before, we all just got to be better representations of Black.
There you go.
People.
There you go. So, as far as I'm concerned, this is why I bring up the whole situation at the beginning.
You got me talking on this.
This is a good one. So for the beginning, this is what we'll do.
Yeah.
And a lot of people moving forward, remember to check where you at. Look into your accountability space.
Check yourself before you wreck yourself. You know what I'm saying?
And if it's the case of you need to go look at some history, go look at some history. There's plenty of stuff to look at. Don't act like it ain't nothing to look at. There's plenty of stuff to look at to make us look good, help us be good, and help us to inspire our own selves, because there's a lot of inspiring things going on. So until the next time, make sure you find something that inspires you, especially, like I said, the Black community. We got to really look at where we came from. It's different phases of what we've gone through, and I want y'all to really look at it and look it up and understand why things were going on the way they were during certain eras. Again, as you hear, we're going back to the 1500s. So again, find something and look into it and understand it and see what we were doing and what made it get to the point of why we lost our freedom to certain things, and what we had to do to go through it again, or strange spaces to go through it again to get it back. So
we told many stories on whites helping Black. We told you about the Jim Brown story, but you still have people say all white people are racist. We've told so many positive things about Black folks, but you still have people say Black folks are lazy and we ain't did nothing, accomplished nothing, we lazy. So my thing is, it seems like no matter what you say, people are still just gonna make that presumption in their mind. That's why I encourage you to just read it, read, research, and think it through. If everybody was racist, why is this white man helping this Black man? If everybody was lazy, a Black person, why is there so many historical things Black people have created, done in places? So think about it. That's all I'm saying, man.
We definitely appreciate y'all watching us and kicking it with us, and we would definitely keep you all in mind as we move forward in creating history and content about history, and hoping that you all are gaining education from this. And of course, we can't be on this forever. But again, remember to tap into our homosodes. We drop them pretty much all the time. Episodes like this are always on Thursday, 8 o'clock p.m. So stay with us. Yeah. Subscribe. Check us out on the website. Everything is there. Plenty of stuff to look at. Plenty of stuff to tap into. Anything you want to say? What we done?
Nah, man. I enjoy this topic, and man, I hope y'all getting something from these episodes, man.
For
like,
real.
you know what I'm saying? Just knowledge, bro. Like, and it's like I'm growing in front of y'all. Like, you know, from episodes, you see, you know, growth between both of us. Like, you know, yeah, we're trying to help y'all, but also this is helping myself personally. Like, you know, me sitting down with y'all every Thursday, homosode, whatever we do, and expressing is been helping me for almost 2 years. So we thank y'all for tuning in. We appreciate y'all. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe, like my boy DeJuan say. Check that website out, notjustmusicpodcast.com. You know what I'm saying?
Man, we out. Peace.